A very good morning to you all. I'm Dr.N.Rajasree, Assistant Professor of Economics, Pingil Government College for Women, Vadapalli, Warangal. In today's class, you're going to learn about what is the role of small-scale industries in India. Okay, the introduction part. In introduction, you can remember the industries development plays a very important role in economic development. The role of industries plays a very important role because when industries develops, naturally the income, the production of the commodities and also the income will increase. Okay, so here you can remember the industrial sector. When the production increases, creates economic growth, economic development, and also the national income also increases, and the living standards of the people also increases with the development of an industry. Okay, so what is this small scale industry? So when the investment, how much we have to invest if you want to establish an industry, you have to see the investment, how much. So here you can remember 25 lakhs, you should not exceed 1 lakh. If an industry, if you want to establish the capital investment, how much we have to invest? 25 lakhs to, we should not exceed more than 1 lakh. Then only it is called as a small scale industry. Okay. And if you see, like, overall we can see that if we want to achieve an economic development, how we can achieve the economic development, what are the things are required to develop our economy. So you can remember, in order to achieve the economic development, proper utilization of resources is very important. When we are utilizing the resources only, it is possible to develop our economy. But in a developing economies like India, you can see that abundant of resources are there. But what is not there? Proper utilization of resources is not there. We are not in a position to utilize. Why we are not utilizing the resources? Because the capital is not there in our economy to utilize, and also the technology, that is also very important to utilize the resources. Availability of things are there, but what is not there? Proper utilization of resources is not there in our economy. Okay, so here in industrial sector, you can remember that how the role is playing the small scale industries in our country. So with the establishment of these industries now, we can reduce the poverty. Poverty eradication will take place, and also we can provide, it provides the employment opportunities. Right, with an establishment of an industry now, just it creates the employment opportunities. Then regional balance also will take place. Why? Because some areas, some regions are developed and other regions are not developed. So with the establishment of this small scale, it is not a very big problem to establish a small scale, because with little amount only, that is the investment is how much? 25 lakhs to 1 lakh only. Within that range you can invest. It's very easy to invest. Okay. If a person, if any small scale industry, if they want to establish, then they can see the capital investment and accordingly they can establish, and also the standard of living of the people also increases because they'll work in that sector. So it creates an opportunity. Okay, that is the introduction part in this small scale industry. The poverty will eradicate, employment opportunities it creates, and also Rural development. Okay, development of rural areas. The establishment of industry, the area will be developed, rural development. And also balanced regional development. So try to remember that if we want to establish a small scale industry, we have to see the investment and also how it is playing, in what way it is playing an important role in our economy. Because huge investments things, the large scale industries take the responsibility to invest and also to increase the production. Okay, and you can see how the role of SSI is playing an important. First thing you can remember, a small scale industry will generate some employment opportunities. It creates an opportunity to work with only just one establishment of industry. Some 3.24 lakh persons, they'll get the employment opportunity, or more than that also. That's roughly, we can see that when you want to establish an industry with your amount, it creates an opportunity for the people to work. Okay, that firstly, you can remember that when an industry is established, it provides, it creates, because it is not that highly skilled knowledge is required to establish an industry. It's not like that. Okay, then the secondly, we can see that enhance the mobilization of resources and also the entrepreneurial skills. Whatever they have the skills, they can exhibit it. It is not that with the fully skilled persons only they'll get an opportunity. It's not like that. Even the unskilled persons also, they'll get an opportunity to work in that sector. Okay, so here the small scale industry, what it is doing, it enhancing the mobilization of the resources and also the skills. So here for producing the commodities, we require some factors. So those factors we take into consideration to produce the commodities. Okay. So according to the skills only, they have to plan and they have to produce the commodities. Okay. Then the next we see the facilitate the equitable distribution of income. How it is playing an important role in distributing the income. You see, you can remember the concentration of economic power is there in our economy. What is there? The concentration of economic power. So in this concentration of economic power, you can remember the only just one sector, that is organized sector, and unorganized sectors are there. So you are very much used with what is that? Organized sector. It is like for unorganized sector, you can take in the small scale industries, because we don't require anything. The skills we don't require. Then they'll get an opportunity in this unorganized sector. So with that, already the organized sector is there. For the unorganized sector people in that sector, they'll get an opportunity to work. So this small scale industry, it is facilitating an equitable distribution of income. That is both the sectors. The organized and unorganized sector is there. How the distribution of income will take place. So they'll get an opportunity to work in this unorganized sector. Okay. So here you can remember in overall the economy, we have the sectors. So sector-wise distribution must be there. So when sector-wise distribution is there, automatically what happens? The income of an economy increases. When income increases, what happens? The standard of living also increases in our Indian economy. Fine. And also you can remember the regional dispersal of industries. Regional dispersal of industries. That is about we can achieve in this balanced regional development. That is with the establishment and small scale industry in particular area, in some particular areas also, what happens to that area? It develops. Got it? It is not, if it is not developed, then the people, they have to suffer. So the regional dispersal or the disparities of the industries, you have to remember in this, that is, we can achieve balanced regional development. One area is developed, one region is developed, another area is not developed. Then there will be an imbalance. So it creates, the small scale industries creates an idea. That is, it increases the production if the establishment, and also it creates the opportunity. So whatever we have, the skills or the talents, we can exhibit and we can establish an industry. It's not huge investment is required to establish an industry. With a small investment also we can start an industry. And the next we can take it provides opportunities. What is providing the opportunities? The small scale industry is providing an opportunity for the development of the technology. We have to enhance our technology. So suppose if you are taking the outdated methods, when we are taking the outdated methods, what happens to the production? The production will not increase when we are using the outdated methods of production. So you should not use outdated machines or the technology. Nowadays, everything has modernized. The technology is playing. Suppose you want to plow in agriculture sector, the land with bullock carts. Nobody using now, to some extent. Only they are using it, whatever they have. But here, the mechanization process is taking place nowadays. For everything, the technology, it is we can consume the time. We can consume the time, and also the quick output we are getting it. All the machines for maize and other, for the rice also, for the paddy also, you can see the technology is playing a very important role. Everything has modernized. So whatever we have, the technology now, we can apply in that. Where we can apply in that? In the industry itself. We can update that, the technology, and we can increase the production. Our main aim is what? We have to increase the production. So how we have to increase the production? The raw materials also we require. The things, whatever, like suppose a sugar industry is there. So for that, the raw materials we require from the agriculture sector. Right? So here, usually it is dependent. The agriculture sector depends on industrial sector mutually, because for raw industry alone will not develop. Got it? In 5-year plans also, they gave importance. Firstly, they have given importance to agriculture sector. And if, they could not succeed in that. They could not achieve the target growth rate. That's why the second plan, the PC Mahalanobis and the strategies they have implemented, Harrod Gold Domer model they have implemented, they gave the strategy, how we have to develop. Even the Mahalanobis also, he has given a strategy, how we have to develop the iron and steel industries and Bilai, Bokaro and all those industries were given huge investments made by the government in those industries. But here, during British rule also, they didn't give any importance to small scale industry. They don't want to develop that industry itself. They never given any opportunity. So here, with the small scale industries, you can remember that it provides an opportunity. They give an opportunity to develop it. Even in our new industrial policy also, what they have done? They given the thing to liberalization, privatization and globalization. For the 3 LPG policy they have implemented. They gave the freedom to liberalize. Wherever you want to establish, you can establish the industries. Okay, they given the chance. And privatization, the public sector role has reduced. Why? It is not giving, uh, public sector is not giving, uh, not earning the profits. Then what they have done, the government, the privatization has taken place. And the globalization is also there, widespread. Whatever the products the other countries are manufacturing, we can enter in our economy. They gave the freedom for us to develop. Because of what? Because of the technological changes. The PV Naspana has given that. The policy they have implemented. How we have to develop the economy. That is very important. Because they are neglecting the small scale industry. They don't want to develop the small scale industries. Because the poor people, what they have to do? They are suffering. So here in this policy, they gave the freedom for the small scale industries. Okay, wherever you want, whatever you have, they gave the freedom for establishment of industries. Okay, so that point you can remember. And it promotes the exports. What is promoting to export the commodities? Industry. Because in this small scale industry, with the skilled persons or unskilled persons also, they'll give an opportunity to work in that. Okay, fine. So with an opportunity in that, what the people are doing there, they are producing the commodities. When they are producing the commodities, okay, they exports. If it is more, the quality is good. Okay, if quality is good, they'll see the quality also when we are export. It's not an easy thing in our Indian economy to export the products. Take the example of cotton, because they made one survey also. Our Indian product that is in our economy, that cotton quality is nice. The Japan people, what we are doing, we are importing, we are exporting the cotton to Japan. And what the Japan is doing in turn, what the Japan is doing, it is finally finished product, it is sending to our economy. At anonymous rates, our cotton only. So what is not there in our economy? Machinery thing is not there. Okay, machinery is not there. So when we have the machinery, then we can produce our commodities, and also we can get the income. Got it? So remember that when we are exporting, when we are producing the commodities, it is a chance. If it is quality wise, if improvement is there, then we can export the commodities to other countries. What happens when we are exporting? We'll get the income. Okay? It creates what? Balanced regional development. Sorry, that is a balance of payments. Position will be in good. When we are exporting only, they will not have any imbalances. Okay? So try to remember, when we are producing more, automatically we can export the commodities to other countries, then the crisis will not be there. When we don't have the commodities, it's what we are doing during British rule, or during that war, the public PL 480, we used to import from other countries at anonymous rates. Then it changes have to take place. So try to remember how the small scale industries are playing with the unskilled also. No need of import the technology from other countries when you want to establish this sector. We don't want to import technology from other countries. Whatever we have the knowledge now, with that only we can establish an industry. So try to remember, it promotes the exports. when we can export, when it is possible. That also you have to remember. And it supports the growth of large industries. For the large industries, it supports the small scale industries, the raw materials and other things, whatever we have, it supports to the large industries. So with the establishment only, the small scale industries role is very important to develop the large scale industries. So overall, we can conclude that the role of small scale industries, that is the Indian economy, you can see in our economy, we have the three sectors, that is agriculture sector, industrial sector and service sector. So the agriculture sector, if more dependence is there on agriculture sector, more number of people are employed in this, dependent on this agriculture sector. When more percentage depend on this agriculture sector, we cannot achieve economic development. A shift has to take place from agriculture sector to industrial sector and industrial sector to service sector. So overall, you can see that the Indian economy is based on these three sectors itself. When we want to develop, what we have to do? We have to utilize the resources. When we can utilize the resources, proper utilization is a must for any economy to develop. If the utilization process is not there, we cannot develop our economy. For that purpose, we need the capital, we need the technology, we need the things, whatever we want to do it. Then only it is possible to develop our economy. Okay, so with that, what happens? You can eradicate the poverty, because poor people, you can see outside how much poverty is there. Like the people are poor, they are begging, and if you see in the railway stations also, in other places also, the dustbins, they are taking and they are eating. They are in a bad position. Okay, some people. So if they have some skills also, what they can do? They can establish. It is not that highly skilled people we require to establish a small scale industry. With whatever the skills they have, they can establish an industry. So it's very easy for them to enhance their skills, and also the production will increase there. They'll get an opportunity also. When the production increases, then automatically our national income also increases. So it's an index for our economy. That is, has you can see the per capita income is an index now. In the same manner, here also, by saying per capita income only, we can say whether a country is developing or not. Yes. So in the same manner, you can remember that the poverty eradication is very important, and we have to achieve economic development and simultaneously economic growth also. So you can see the economic growth in best example for developing economies. Economic growth is underdeveloped countries. We have to achieve the economic development. Okay, so remember the poverty eradication and poverty eradication and economic development, economic growth, and the income of the economy. It is contributing GNP, GDP, the share of the sectors. And finally, we can see the standard of living of the people. When a person's standard of living increases, they earn some income. Okay, if they get the income only, they can survive. Income increases. When income increases only, the standard of living of the people increases. So try to remember, if they get an opportunity, they have to utilize and they have to increase their skills also. Upgradation of the technology also is very important. Okay, so try to remember how the role of small scale industries, and for that what the government has to do. The government has to provide the finance. Credit facilities must be provided by the government itself. When the government is not providing the credit facilities, the people, they have to suffer. And whatever the credit facilities are provided, they must be used in a proper manner also. That is also important. And the availability of raw material is also very important. Who has to create all that? It's not for the, like they cannot do it to the people, they not increase their production on their own. Naturally, they have to depend on government only. So the government has to provide the finance and the raw materials and the things whatever they require. Mainly we can remember that financial facilities must be provided by the government to develop the sector. Because before they didn't give any importance to this. The small scale industries are not at all developed in our economy. So for that purpose, the industrialization process is very important. And what the investment is required, that is also very important. When they have the capital only, they can invest in a particular industry. If capital is not there, then it is not possible for them to invest. Got it? So it provides employment opportunities and it creates a balanced regional development and dispersal of units, whatever they have. Okay, so you can remember that equitable distribution also. Everything, the concentration, and because it is if it is an unorganized sector also, the people get an opportunity to develop. So with that, we can remember that the role of small scale industry is playing a very important role in achieving economic growth and also economic development, national income, and the standard of living of the people. Thank you. Thank you very much.